Alright, dude, this is for you. We'll see how good this works. I got two of them to clean right now, and these are just like yours, but they have a different base. So, you can see, that's one of them. I don't know if you can see it's a little bit dirty or not, but it is. Rinse them out. Pull that cotton out. See it's a little burnt in the middle. Toss it away. Toss mine down the sink. I usually rinse that with hot water. Shake that water out. And then for you, you're gonna want to turn down your watts a little bit. Turn down your power a little bit. But basically, you dry fire it. And you can see that getting red. You don't want to fire it where it's too, like, you can kind of burn the coil out if you do it too hardcore. But you want to fire it to a little bit red and get it clean. And then what I like to do is hit it with a little cold water. Shake it out. You can kind of fire it again. You want to just get that water out of there. So you want to fire it until it's not making noise anymore. Try not to get it too hot. And that's good. I'll do my other one. Nice and clean. Hit it with some cold water. Shake it out. You can see that. Nice and clean now. And again, you don't want to let it get too hot because that'll burn the coil out. These things will either last for a week or they'll last for a couple months. If you're careful with them, they'll last for a long time. Just hit it till it's not making noise anymore. Good. Now what I like to do is let these fuckers cool off a little bit. Change the battery. Do any other, fucking little things I gotta do. So I'm changing the battery on both of these guys now. Just let them cool off a little bit. Then I've got a Q-tip here. Just gonna get in here. I'm gonna take the cooler one first. You're gonna get in here. You can't see that. Get in there just like that. Just want to get rid of that any water that's left over. We don't want any water on our brand new cotton. You check the holes here. Make sure there's nothing in there. No water stuck in there, and that one's good. Same thing here. Now, if the coil's too hot, it'll burn the cotton on the Q-tip, just like it would burn the cotton in your, your vape cotton. So, check the holes. See, you got a little bit of water in there. So we're gonna twist this little guy out. Hit it. And the rest are good to go. Clean up any water on the edges. These guys are dry and they're good to go. Now, I'm making a video for Mike. So now we do the cotton. We got our chew container full of cotton. We'll start with a new one. So generally I like to make these a little bit bigger than they need to be. It just gives you a little more to work with. So you kind of estimate it. And you go like that. Size of like the last index of my thumb or whatever. And by the way, these are Fiskars scissors, fabric scissors. It's the way to go. So then the deal with these is that they're 3mm inner diameter coils, which is yours too. And this cotton shit that I gave you, it works perfectly if you just cut it in half. So I just come down the middle and cut it in half. So then I kind of pick off any like little loose strands. Try not to touch the middle part right there, because that's the part you're going to be actually vaping on with the coil. You don't want to get any of your finger oil on there. And at this point now you just roll one end between your fingers to get it nice and tight. If you have a problem with that, you can get a little water from somewhere, get your cocktail or whatever, get a little bit of water in your finger, just a tiny, tiny bit, and roll it. And water will actually make this cotton condense rather than expand. So this is a little tricky, you get used to it, but you just get that cotton right in there. And try not to touch that middle part like I just did. If you need to, you can use your scissors to grab that fucker and drag it along. And from there, you just kind of even them out. Find a good, you'll get a good feel for the tension, like what kind of tension you want. You want it to be a little bit tight, like if you were to pull this, it would pull it over, but not so tight where you're having to really struggle to, you know, pull it through the coil. So again, you pull over, this comes with it. I'm gonna go ahead and do my other one. I was able to just pinch that fucker, grab it through without the scissors. That's it. So now the deal with this is you trim the legs, they're called. So I get my scissors right up on this lip right here, which you have on yours, and I get almost vertical, like that would be vertical, but I'm like maybe 10 degrees. So I give it about maybe 15 degrees. And I cut that fucker. I try to get a nice little bit of a roundness. It kind of matches the roundness of the side of there. It doesn't really matter. This part doesn't matter that much. Same thing over there. And then all you do is you take this part and you want to fold this end just under. You get, this is one of those things a little bit tricky at first. You get really used to it. So you just kind of fold it like that and shove it in. And that one's perfect. Here we go. Try that one again. Hopefully you can see that. So that's good to go. So you see, you got your air holes here, and you got your clearance for the air right there, and air holes and your clearance there, your cotton there, and that one's ready to drip. So I'm just going to take, I like to rinse the caps off when I do this. I'm just going to dry this out and set it aside. And this one is good to go for later, for whenever. I'll just go ahead and do my other one so you can see how I do that again. Hopefully this is helping you. If you have any questions, let me know. Kind of see how it's a little bit rounded there. Get that one pushed in there, and that one pushed in there. Yeah, so this part doesn't really matter as long as the legs are touching the bottom, and you don't want them, like, you know, filling up the entire cavity or anything, but just the legs want to touch the bottom, get a nice little package like that. Dry the cap off, and then this one's good to go. So yeah, Mike, yeah, dude, this is it. It's pretty easy. So making coils is a kind of another story. It's a little bit different, you know, harder than this, but this is it. Let me know if you have any questions, dude. Great to see you the other day, man, and I'll talk soon. Later.